Hello everyone, it's Mat McLachlan here, and this is really just a special message to say thank you to everyone who listens to the podcast and to say that basically everyone here at Living History is thinking of you. We know that the lockdown is really starting to stretch on now, and I know that some cracks have started to appear. So I just wanted to put a message out there to say to everyone, hang in there. We will get through this together, and hopefully the work that we're doing here to bring these history stories to life is helping in some small way to keep you entertained and amused during this unprecedented crisis. So thousands of people have come on and discovered the podcast and are now downloading it, which is so wonderful. I feel so gratified. So thank you, and welcome to all the new listeners that have come in recent weeks, because as I said, this is perhaps something that I can do to help everyone in these difficult times, is just tell these amazing stories, and I'm glad to see that people are responding so strongly to them. A personal request from me, if you are enjoying the podcast, please do us the favour of reviewing the podcast and leaving a star rating on your favourite podcasting app. If you give us a 5-star review and a 5-star rating and write a nice review, that helps other people find the podcast. And the more people that find it, the more great content we can bring you. So if you could do me that favour of reviewing and giving a star rating to the podcast, that would be hugely appreciated. And if you're also looking for something else to entertain you, to keep you amused during these long days of lockdown, if you haven't checked out our sister podcast yet, then please do. That's Peter Hart's Military History, hosted by the one and only Peter Hart, a historian who you will know well from these episodes of Living History, who was the oral historian at the Imperial War Museum in London for nearly 40 years, and he interviewed thousands and thousands of veterans. So he has a unique perspective on the First World War, the Second World War, and indeed other conflicts. And his podcast is really something quite special. He and his good chum, Gary Bain, every week get together to talk about an area of military history that they find interesting. And it's fantastic. In a lot of ways, it's like sitting next to a couple of blokes in the pub and just hearing their opinions about chapters of military history. They're both very intelligent men. They know this subject very, very well. And the podcast is something well worth checking out. So that's Peter Hart's Military History. It's available wherever you find good podcasts. And also, exciting news, Peter Hart and I are doing something else together. We are publishing a book. Living History is becoming a book publisher. And later this year, I guess about September time, we are going to release our first military history book, which is being written by Peter Hart and is all about a subject he knows very, very well, the Gallipoli evacuation. That final month of the Gallipoli campaign, when they launched the last few attacks on the Turkish positions, the winter storm set in, and the Allies eventually decided to pack up and leave and give up on the great Gallipoli adventure. It's a chapter of the Gallipoli story that hasn't been told in much detail. Peter Hart's the perfect man to do it, and I'm so excited that we're going to be bringing that book out later in the year. So I'm due to be reading the manuscript next week, and I can't wait to see that. So in September, look out for Peter Hart's first book with Living History, the Gallipoli evacuation. In the meantime, as I said, stay safe, stay well, hang in there. I know times are tough for so many people out there, but we will get through this. And in the meantime, I look forward to bringing you more interesting history content. And feel free to reach out to me through all the social channels, through Facebook, Twitter, however you would like to reach out to me, because I always love hearing from people and talking about great chapters of history. Until the next podcast, thanks for listening in.